Hey, my name is Ryan. I've got a question for you. Have you ever been through a really good time in life? Maybe you're thinking of even a specific event that you had that was really impactful in a good way to you. Maybe you took a family trip somewhere. Maybe you took a hike with some friends. Maybe you had a snowball fight with your grandkids. It wasn't necessarily about the thing you were doing as much as it was about the relationships around you, who you were doing it with, that really made it so significant. On the other side of that, have you ever been through a really tough time? So you might be thinking of a death in the family or a really crazy season internally, emotionally for yourself. If you might remember, certain friends in your life would gather around you and encourage you and point you towards hope through that season, either for the good or the bad. It was the relationships in our lives that actually made it so significant and meaningful for us. I believe this goes back all the way to actually what Jesus established when he was recruiting all of his disciples. He gathered together a bunch of misfits together, and they formed the first life group. See, they won together, they lost together, they went through challenges together, they navigated conflict together, they laughed together, they cried together, but they did it together. Ultimately, Jesus encouraged them to change the world, and they changed the world together. So much so that they took that same example, and Scripture teaches us that they went into all the world just as Jesus asked them to do, and they established smaller groups all over the world of people pursuing Jesus together. In Acts 2, starting in verse 42, it says this. It says, all the believers devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship and to sharing in meals and to prayer. A deep sense of awe came over them all, and the apostles performed many miraculous signs and wonders, and all the believers met together in one place and shared everything they had. They sold their property and possessions and shared the money with those in need. They worshiped together at the temple every single day. They met in homes for the Lord's Supper and shared their meals with great joy and generosity, all the while praising God and enjoying the goodwill of all the people. And each day, the Lord added to their fellowship those who were saved. See, that's life groups. That's smaller communities pursuing Jesus together, living life together, facing challenges and great times together. And I want to invite you to be a part of that same story. See, here at Life.Church, we call these life groups, and you have an opportunity to either join or start a life group. And in the email that you just got, you can click a button there and take that next step. I want to tell you, if you've got it on your heart to start a life group, a smaller community where you're chasing after Jesus together, take that step today. Or if you're not ready to do that, join one of our many life groups all around the world who are already doing this, and you will see God transform you and the community that you belong to.